Hey y'all, thanks for checking out Euclid Mining. Tonight we're going to be working on the Z11. I just got two of them in and I was having some trouble with them. They would start to mine and then after about 2 or 3 minutes it would just go up and then it would slowly come back down and stop mining. So I've been trying to work on this and trying to figure out what's up with it. I did have the Fuddware on it to begin with. That's when I bought it from this guy. He had these at a farm and that's what he used. I went ahead and just put the stock Antminer software on there because I didn't know what this Fuddware was. I'd never used it before, and I figured, you know what, I'm just not going to use it. But every time I tried to get the miner to start, it would start, and then after about maximum 3 minutes, it would just slowly come back down and then go back down to 0, and that would be it. I tried different pools, different things, same result all the time. Anyway, I went back to the Fuddware, I hooked it up, and it started working. So we are going to take a look at it. As you can see, here it is right here. If I go to my status, I am still running 139. I do have this pumped up a little bit. Now with Fuddware, you can do overclocking. I know that the stock Bitmain firmware doesn't allow any overclocking. If you have a Z9, it does have, I think, normal mode and turbo mode, or standard and turbo, I forget, but it's 2 options. But it does give you an option for a little bit of overclocking. The Z11 doesn't give you anything, so you're kind of stuck where you're at. This one does give you the ability to overclock, and that's kind of nice. So I am using a little bit overclock. I am going to probably push this up a little bit higher and get that up. So 135 is what this miner should run at. When I first got this, it was running at anywhere from 140 to 150. Excuse me, I just had a big bowl of popcorn. And it would go, I would say, you know, as low as 130, and it would go up to like 155. So, but like I said, about 135 to 145, it was living in there. So I was happy with that. You know, if I can get 145 stable, I was pretty good with that. So I wanted to come back to this and use it. So I've got the other Z miner downstairs, the Z11, and I want to go ahead and put this on that one. So I'm going to show you how to do all that. So first thing you got to do is you've got to come over to this website. And I will have a link in the description below for this. But it's a little misleading. When I have the Z11 stock firmware from Bitmain on the miner, you can't just download this and come over here and go to System, Upgrade, and then flash new firmware image. You can't do that. It won't let you because, like you've seen it a million times, just like me, signature not found, so it won't let you. The only way that I was able to get this to work was to download the Z9 boot image on the micro SD card. And then once I install this on the miner, then, and I use that with the micro SD card at the physical miner itself by putting it into the slot. After that's up and running, I came back upstairs. I did download the Z11 firmware and then was able to do the flash new firmware image right here and install it. But first I had to get rid of that signature. And there is nothing in here for the Z11. It only has the Z9, but that's okay because it worked fine for me. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So first thing we do is we're going to go ahead and click on this and download it. I've already downloaded it. I have it right here. And then I extracted it. And there it is right there. Now you're going to need a micro SD card, and as you've seen those before a million times, a little micro SD card probably in your phone or your camera or whatever you use for storage. This one is 8 gigabyte. I wouldn't recommend getting anything over, I think it's 16 gigabytes, but I think there's argument between that. So 8 gigabyte is probably the maximum. I do have a couple of these that I use just for the miners. So larger ones that I use for different projects, but this one is only 8 gigabyte, and I bought that specifically because miners don't like the larger capacity ones. Like this one, I've got a 16 gigabyte in here. You know, I've got some other ones, but I don't use them. Only the 8 gigabyte. But you could try it, see if it works for you. This is what's worked for me. So now I need to get that software on here. There's a couple options. I bought this on eBay. It cost me $1. It's got a little USB on one side. It's got a little slot right here. You take the micro card and you put it into the slot. and then you put that into your computer and away you go. I also bought another one that was like $1. This one I bought, I think it was like $5. It has these little caps that go on the ends, you know, to make it look all fancy. Anyway, you take it off, you got a USB on one side. You do have the connection on the other side for an Android, or lots of connections are like that actually. But on the side there is a little slot right there, and that's for the micro SD card, and that goes in like that. As you can see that in there. And then it does have another slot on the other side for a full-size SD card if you ever wanted one. So whatever, not that anybody really uses those anymore, but nonetheless, I got it just in case there was a situation where I may need it. I just wanted to have it. So anyway, we've got it in there. I'll put the cap on that one side. I've got my micro in there, got it ready. I'm going to go ahead and put it in. All right, here it is right here. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we're going to go to this PC. We are going to go ahead and right-click on this and format. We're going to leave it at FAT32, and we're just going to leave a quick format. We'll click Start. Yes, it's going to erase everything on this SD card, so make sure you have nothing on there that you want to save, because it's going to be gone when we click it. And there it is. It's all done. Pretty quick. So now that we've closed that up, we're good there. This is the folder that I have extracted, and I'm just going to go ahead and highlight it all, and you can right click and click copy, or you can hold Control down on the keyboard and hit C for copy. And then we're going to take this to our card, and we're going to highlight it, and we're going to hold Control down and hit V, or you can right click on it and click paste. Just hit Control V and open that up. Did it do it? There we go. Goes pretty quick. Okay, so now we have all of these files saved on the micro SD card like that. And now I'm going to take this out of here, take my micro SD card with me. We're going to head downstairs to Crazy Town. I'm going to drop this in that miner. We're going to let it run. Then we'll come back up here and we'll finish off those last steps. So I'll be back in just a minute. I'll meet you downstairs. All right, y'all, we're down in Crazy Town, and I've got them right over here. The one on the far side is the one that's working now. This is what we're going to work on. Sorry for the noise as I get a little closer. It's a little loud. I opened up the garage door. It's a really nice, cool night tonight, so these fans are starting to power down quite a bit. So we're just going to go over there, and we're going to take care of some business. So all I've got right here, you can see the miner. It's got a slot right here for the SD card. Just going to go ahead and put that in. All right, that's in there. I've got it hooked up. Got some power right here. And we're going to go ahead and fire this up. Now, let me get this going. So we're going to let that go for a second. That power supply is so damn loud. I got to get a new power supply. Anyway, when this, I'm going to step away from that because that is so loud. The other one is so much more quiet. It is a Bitmain stock power supply. And it is like whisper quiet. This thing is like ridiculous. I mean, this is what gives ASICs a bad name. I gotta be honest. That power supply is so loud. Anyway, when I did this, the lights didn't flash on it. Let's take a quick peek. So the lights are off, and they stayed off for me. They didn't flash. It usually takes anywhere from 15 to 45 seconds, maybe a minute, for something to flash, depending on how big the file is. But this typically takes like 30 seconds maximum. It never flashed. It never alerted me that it was done doing it. So just to be sure, I just let it run for a minute. So I'm just going to let it run for a minute with this one as well. Maybe I'll check this one, see if it does flash. Maybe it's already flashed. All right, well, anyway, I'm not going to stand next to that thing. It's so loud. But I'm going to let that run for a minute. Once that's done, I will I will power down the miner. I will take the SD card out of it and then power it back up and head upstairs. So I will meet you back upstairs. All right, we're back upstairs and we're going to go ahead and bring up the Z11 number 2. The old IP address isn't working, so we are going to have to use a program I've used several times before. It's Advanced Port Scanner. If you haven't used it before, it's super easy and it's free, so you can't beat that. All you do is just install it. You can use it as a one-time use, or you can install it if you don't think you're going to be using that often. I've got it installed because I use it a lot, and I've got most of my miners labeled. So as you can see, this one right here is not. So I'm going to take that. That's probably my new Z11 number 2. So that is 192.168.1.25. So let's come back over here, and we can change that to 5. Now the username and password is root and root, so it's just all lowercase, ROOT, and the password ROOT. Again, all lowercase, sign in. Here it is right here. Now if you do want to label your miner, so the way that I have mine, I just go here and Z11 and number 2, and we click save and apply. We'll let that run. And then what we need to do now, remember when we did this, we installed it with the Z9 from the SD card because they don't offer the Z11 with the same SD card. So we went ahead and installed that. So now we have to download this one and install that. So we just click on it. You can see it downloads it pretty quick. Come back over here. And then we can go to System, Upgrade, and we can choose a file. We're going to go ahead and choose that one right there, and we're going to click Flash Image. Yes, we want to replace the firmware, so we're going to let that run. Now, when we did this originally with the Z11 Fuddware, it gave us that signature error, and it wouldn't let it go. So now, let's see, with the Fuddware in there, so there it is. So it's going through the reboot, so it did accept it, so it's going to go through. So I'm going to let this reboot really quick. It'll just take a minute to reboot and come back up, and we will continue on. So it said it was successful, and it's just finishing its reboot. So let's just check for it, and it still hasn't gotten the IP address, so we're just waiting right here to see when it gets in. And while that is going on, we can go to System, and we can see now that it is the Z11, and we can go to Configuration, and here we can start putting in all of our information. So let's get over here. I'm using F2 pool for this one right now. So let's put all of our settings in. And we can save and apply that as well. So we'll let that put the settings in. It's going to want to take its time. It's going to I think it's going to look for the IP address again as it's sort of rebooting. So as you can see here, there is a dev fee on using this, and it comes down to about 45 minutes. Now, I got this miner from somebody who had this in a farm, so they use this software. It is the only software out there that's anything other besides the stock firmware from Antminer. So it is what was used, and I'm going back to it because the other one wasn't working so well. Stock firmware. So if they were using it and they were okay with the dev fee, I will just assume that with the overclocking that you're able to do on it now, we'll kind of balance that out. And because you'll be able to overclock it, that dev fee that they're pulling really will be inconsequential. So let's go to status, and it looks like it's up. As you can see right here, we have our IP addresses going. So there it is running. Next thing we're going to really work on is going to be our advanced settings and working on overclocking. So this is where you'll work it in here. Unfortunately, this is the first time I'm going to be doing this, and from what I saw from my other overclocking that they had given me this at, they had it set at the 718, and they didn't have anything set for the voltage. They just had to use the global. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it the way it is, and we will save it as global. And that's pretty much all I've done as far as the overclocking goes. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself. They do give you some pretty decent instructions here on how to slowly get to that overclock setting. They want you to start at 650 and work your way up. And then as you start to find more and more hardware errors, maybe bring it back down one setting at a time until you find that stable hash and the miner is running efficiently. And real quick, just to look at profitability, we will go over here and check it out. So right now I am using F2 pool and I am doing Zcash, which is not on here right now. You know, if you chase Zcash or Horizon, you know, or whichever coin you want to mine, it is tough to stay on top of that. The only problem really I see with that is that if you start mining different coins, you're going to end up with a bunch of small balances all over the place. So I try to stick with one, maybe every other day. I do check it every day to see if the profitability is that different. But really every other day I kind of check it and see. I try to stick between two coins whenever I mine with the ASICs or go back and forth with my GPUs even for that matter. And try not to mine too much because again, I don't want to end up with little partial balances of 10 different coins that are really unusable if I want to use that money to say pay a power bill or something like that. So be mindful on what you're mining or not, you know, mine and have 100 different coins if you want, but you'll just have small balances. Right now, you know, NiceHash looks like it's doing well, except I won't use NiceHash. Just using straight Pirate. Usually use Luxor when I'm doing that. Yeah. Well, there it is. That's the profitability. So that's up to you on what you want to do with that. So anyway, y'all, I appreciate you checking in. That's the video. I hope it helped. If it helped, you know I love those. Definitely, if you haven't subscribed, hit the button down below. I will have a couple videos here for you to check out. I'll have them right over here. And of course, the subscribe button is going to be right over here. So appreciate you checking in. I'll see y'all next time.